folks. How are you today? And how are you, Sergeant Lamb?
I'm doing outstanding.
Well, what can I tell you? Hey, it's been all kind. It's been a real hot summer. This has been one of the hottest summers in history. And especially over here since I got visited here. The last time.
There's been some crazy weather, but hey, the planet's only 6,000 years old, so I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, what can I tell you? But speaking of vacations, did you know that the First Lady, okay, took her two daughters to Africa?
Okay.
For, it was, a benevolent situation, if you want to call it that, to show her daughters where they had come from.
Okay. So somewhat of a pilgrimage.
Yes, to show, here's the thing, but I was thinking, who paid for that? Well, I did a little checking, and she did not go by herself and her daughters, naturally. There was a whole bunch of other people that went there.
Well, of course,
she had to take some people with her. But,
well, for security reasons, yeah.
Well, and they were friends and that. But they did one thing that at least, I can say they did one thing. Everybody that went, except for the security people and that type of thing, paid for their, they paid for where they stayed at.
Okay. So, all right, the point of the bitch, what you're saying is that taxpayers paid for some,
but the food and the
some
gas
details as far as where the First Lady went. Okay. Here's the thing. I don't give an F. Oh,
no. But what the point I'm trying to make on that.
Okay, make the point.
Okay, the point I'm trying to make on that is that here is a simple a little thing which really I really don't mind. I mean, everybody in the world came from Africa. Their ancestors, the prehistoric, they all came from. And I just saw yesterday on television, all the people that came from different races and all that. From the National Geographic that was on TV yesterday, but I'm sure that.
So is your gripe that she went to Africa?
Well, it's not really that she went to Africa. I mean, if you want to gripe about something, gripe about the Tea Party.
Well, okay. Well, that's before.
And by the way,
there's always a good segue to bitch about the Tea Party because it's never any supply. But just let me just caveat and add to that. Okay. So. I think in today's generation, we've often complained about the youth of today.
Right.
So I think regardless of who it is, to take two kids that come from a silver spoon-fed lifestyle, throw them in some crap hole in Africa, and just say, hey, look how nice you have it. I wish I could ship my son there for a week and bring him back, and then he'll finally eat his damn vegetables because he'll be starving. So anytime you could take two freaking American spoiled teens, and I'm not saying anything bad about I don't know the girls, okay, but they're American and they come from this Y generation. Like, why didn't we kill ourselves and neuter ourselves a long time ago? I'm glad they went and came back. Talking about the cost. I don't care. I'm just like at this point in time, I don't care. And I love how people complain about costs. Like, oh, did you know that Obama had had a bus built for $1 million for security? Okay, let me stop you right there real quick because first of all, the Secret Service has a job to do. It's not like Obama whips out his credit card that just has a picture of the flag on it and swipes. Okay, the Secret Service has a job. And they contracted out to an American company out of Nebraska for this bus, okay? And actually, only $100,000 out of this $1 million bus was spent in another country, okay? It's called Canada because the Republicans have dismantled our manufacturing industry since Reagan, and you can't even buy the shell of a van or a bus in this country at all.
Right.
So whether you're driving a Ford or a Nissan or a Toyota, if it is a bus or a SUV or a van in any form, the shell comes from Canada. Okay, so the $100,000 for this bus came from Canada, and then it was assembled and built in Nebraska at an American company. And keep this in mind, not only did the Secret Service buy one for Obama, they bought another one for his opponent. I mean, but Fox doesn't say that whoever ends up being the GOP nominee is going to be in one of these exact same buses.
Yeah.
Okay, so again, when it comes to cost, I don't care, because you're not going to hear what really, what the real cost is. And I'm sorry, but for the First Lady needs security. Maybe does she need a hairstylist? I don't know, or I don't care. I'm not a chick, all right? But either way, she does need somewhat of an entourage for security because let's say she was kidnapped. Now we have a national emergency, and this is not just Michelle Obama. This would be true to anyone. I mean, I'm sorry if they don't have some silly, stupid ranch that they can pretend to go to once a year.
Well, I could say, if they're not going to use all the presidents use the little ranch that they got.
Well, yeah. Well, Obama likes to go to Martha's Vineyard, and again, I love the media and how people like to complain. Like, oh, he's on vacation. He's on vacation during a natural weather disaster. He's on vacation. Okay, people. At this point in time in Obama's presidency, he has had 70 vacation days.
Oh.
At this same time in Bush's presidency, he had 234 days of vacation.
You're kidding me.
Okay? 234
You're kidding.
versus 70. Okay? And also, Bush was
that's
on...
about a year.
Yeah,
of
Bush
vacation.
was
That's
on
president.
Bush was on vacation during the international CIA warning, security threat advisory coming out saying a Bin Laden soon to attack. He was on vacation during, the lead up to the war in Afghanistan, the lead up to the war in Iraq. During Katrina, he was on vacation. Okay, so
Was he
drop
ever in
it.
the country? Was he ever?
He was always at his ranch pretending to be a Texan. Okay,
Oh, okay.
but he's not. He went to Yale. All right, so. I love when you compare and contrast, because all you hear is the one-sided bitch, and then when you compare and contrast, it's like, oh, well, that's just stupid. But, onto the Tea Party, since we talk about vacation and natural disasters, you've got the Tea Party leader, Eric Cantor, who's saying, with these hurricanes in Vermont pretty much being devastated by floods, saying, we are not going to fund FEMA or give any type of relief funds until we offset budget cuts. So basically,
I got news for you. They haven't given FEMA enough money.
No, they haven't. So again. Okay, wait. So basically, you're saying in order to pull Grandma out of the water that she's drowning in, you need to first take her Social Security paycheck. Okay, or you need to cut her Medicare. So you pull her out of the water, and then she'll just die at the hospital with water in her lungs. I mean, like give me an effing break. Like, okay, how about this? How about we raise capital gains tax for the rich folks that just sit around the pool and collect a dividend check? Why don't we raise the tax on them? Or how about instead of building roads and bridges in Afghanistan, we pull some of that money and offset to help our own American citizens?
How do people in Afghanistan going to get around it?
I don't know or care, but this is the United States. We are a goddamn nation, and we need to start taking care of our own. And this whole we're just going to let Vermont drown. Vermont actually had to borrow National Guard helicopters from New Hampshire to help people because their helicopters were in Afghanistan. It's amazing to know. Let's say we had some crazy disaster in Arizona. Our National Guard was supposed to be taking care of us, all their equipments, and fighting some stupid foreign war. I mean, it's just bull.
What happens? What happens if we got attacked all of a sudden? What's going to happen? Everything is out and all over the world. We don't have nothing over.
All of our money's in the Middle East, rebuilding nations there, and our roads are crumbling here. All of our tanks and all that crap is in. All of our soldiers and everything's in the Middle East. Taking care of security there. While we have crazy militia dudes going around trying to shoot Gabby Giffords in the face. I mean, where is their priority? And again, speaking of things that are unprecedented, Congress has been on recess for the past 2 weeks. Okay, they first come back in to take care of business next Wednesday. Okay, and President Obama using the formalities because he has to request the Speaker of the House sets the agenda. Say, hey, Wednesday I want to give a speech on jobs because this is important because apparently you guys haven't done anything when it comes to jobs yet. And they're like, yeah, sure, that's no problem, no big deal, no problem. and they actually approved it because this has been going on for weeks. Rush Limbaugh comes out and says, no, this is BS. John Boehner, you need to freaking, you need to say no, because it's the Republican debate.
And he did, too.
The one out of many. There's been so many Republican debates that's going on. There are going to be more. I mean, like, first of all, why do you want to see 8 jackasses all talk about how they hate Obama? Because they don't actually debate anyone. They don't actually, debate themselves or say, oh, Obama sucks. Boom, done. Oh, well, thank you, everyone. So anyways, John Boehner tucks tails and run and says, oh, I'm sorry, we can't do this. We're going to, because we have the Republican debate. First of all, they're not going to be at the Republican debate. It's not like every Republican senator and congressman and women are going to be at the debate. That night, they're actually working. They're already going to be in Capitol Hill working because their agenda is naming a couple libraries after Ronald Reagan. I mean, that's their agenda. That's more important than having a joint session of Congress to go over, And in the history of this nation, not once has the president ever been turned down when he asked to see all the country's representatives. And again,
but just to say this, and I'm sure I'm going to get a lot of calls about this, but every president in the United States was never black.
Yeah. Oh, and they don't ever make, yeah, it's there. I mean, like, yeah, you're right. We'll get a bunch of hate mail, like, oh, just because you hate Obama makes you racist. No. The fact that you're standing in a crowd of Tea Party candidates with nothing but racial slurs on their little poster signs, that's what makes you racist. It's guilty by association, okay? All right? That is why you are racist, because you hang out with racists, okay? And you are the company you keep. I'm sorry.
Well, yeah. Have you noticed my colored lady, You're sitting next to me.
I know. What does that say about me?
Well, hey, what can
I'm
I say?
multicultural.
Hey, aren't we all? We're supposed to, aren't we?
That's right, since we all came from Africa.
That's right, we all came from Africa.
One way or another. Well, that was 6,000 years ago. Remember that?
Well, I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Hey, what can I tell you?
And the pyramids were put here by the Satan just to mislead us, so just keep that in mind.
No, there were aliens who put those in here.
By Satan just to mislead us, because we don't, because just like, Governor Rick Perry said it to a little kid at school, when the little kid said, how old is the Earth? It's like, well, we really don't know for sure. Yeah, we do. It's called carbon dating. We know the Earth is about 2.5 billion years old. Okay, thank you.
Well, that's...
Don't ask don't ask a former governor from Texas anything about science or history, okay? Just keep that in mind.
Okay,
it's a bad
right.
strategy.
Okay, I will do that. I will keep that in mind. So until the next time, Sergeant
Lamb,
take care now.
hoorah.